What use is having a powerful personal knowledge management database slash system if you don't do anything with it? And really, that is the most powerful thing that you could use Obsidian for, is accomplishing big goals and dreams with all the stuff you know how to do. Now, we've talked about project management and moving Kanban cards through stages and that kind of thing. We've talked about reminders and kind of putting things on your radar, but I can't believe that I haven't covered this until right now, which is probably the single most powerful thing that you could use Obsidian for, which is task management. So let's dig into it. Here we go. This is, again, one of the coolest things that Obsidian can do, and I can't believe it took me this long to think of making a video for it. So the first thing that we have to do is to install the tasks plugin. So Command comma to bring up the settings, and I can search for tasks. I don't have it yet, so let's browse community and put in tasks, and it's this one. As of the time that I'm recording, November 12th, 2024, tasks was updated, 7 days ago? So this is a very active plugin. It's not just coasting on its momentum and inertia, but this is all you have to do is install and enable, and then go to options, and we'll go over this real quick. I like the tasks emoji format. I can use data view if I Google a whole bunch of stuff, but actually just like the emoji format, this will all make sense when we actually dive in and get hands on it. I just like going over the settings first. The global filter is really important. So get this right the first time, because it's looking for any kind of checkbox. And if you don't have a global filter, it will assume every single checkbox is a task that you want this plugin to manage. Even if you're doing a packing list by going on vacation or something, and you've got a whole bunch of checkboxes, this will think, oh, you want to manage it through this. So I really like having a global filter of task. So just only checkboxes that have the hashtag task tag with it, only those elements are going to get pulled into this plugin. So I really, really like this. So I usually just use task. I don't like a to-do, because a task is something that I need managed, and the to-dos are going to be under it, kind of. So in my head, a task is something bigger than the to-do, and hopefully this will make sense of why I approach it this way. So my global filter is task. Remove global filter from description. I do like to hide this because this plugin will automatically add the tag hashtag task to the actual item, and it just creates a lot of visual clutter. So it's going to be there, but I don't want to see it. So this makes sure that it's not going to happen. Global query is kind of a default you can set, but we're not going to use it. It's a little bit more than what I need, so we're not going to cover it. And then core statuses, sure, all we need is it needs to be done and it has been done. That's pretty much it. Now, if you've got any of these other templates installed, like Anupachin, Aura Theme, Minimal, there are 22 other statuses, but really tasks is going to handle all the conditional things and other ways of communicating to yourself where this task is in development. So I don't feel like having a whole bunch of custom statuses here makes sense when the plugin is going to do all that heavy lifting for me. So you don't need to spend a lot of time here. Set created date on every added task. I actually like knowing when I created the date. So I enable that. And I do want to know what day I completed it, not just the day that I wanted to work on it or when it's due, but when did I accomplish this task? I just like having that data available. So I want that enabled and set canceled date for every canceled task. Sure, I like knowing that. Use file name as scheduled date for undated tasks. I don't like using the file. I don't like using a file for this. I like using just the to-do item. So I like to leave that off. And the next recurring appears on the line below. I leave this off because my recurring stuff, sure, you can use that, but also it happens often enough usually that I don't need this visual reminder. Auto suggest task content. I do want that enabled because there's some cool conditional things that we can do of before I can accomplish this task, this other task needs to get done. And when we're searching for this other task, auto suggest comes in real handy. And then minimum and maximum number of auto suggestions to show. Unless you've got thousands of tasks, you don't really need this yet, especially if you're just getting started. So don't worry about these quite yet. Use this enough, then you might need this, but you'll be familiar enough with the plugin by then to know how to fiddle with this. But that's pretty much it. Provide access keys and dialog. Don't know what that is. It's enabled by default. Okay, cool. Let's leave it that way. And that's it. Let's start a new document. Example task elements. And now we can make a task. Now, the thing that you can do from the beginning is use the command palette. So Command P and put in task, toggle task done. Well, I don't want to toggle something that doesn't exist. So I want to create or edit a task. So hit enter. And this is the interface that you'll be using quite often. So the task that we can just put in here is record this video. This is actually the highest priority I have, which is why I'm doing it right now. Does it recur? Nope. When is it due? We'll just say it's due today. When actually, you know what? It'll be due on, let's say it's due on Friday, but I'm scheduled to do it today. And then I'm going to start it today, and we'll leave that off here. And that's pretty much it. Blocking and blocked by fields are disabled when vault tasks is empty. No clue what in the world that means. I always forget what the fresh install state of things are. So hopefully this will fill in. So to do, created today. Is it done? Canceled? Nope. Let's apply it and see what we get here. Okay. So we've got task here and it's visible, which evidently sometimes there's a fight between how Obsidian wants to do something and how the plugin wants to do something. So the plugin wants to hide it, but since it's a tag, Obsidian wants it visible. So sometimes depending on the theme you're using, this will be or won't be visible depending on how it prioritizes the plugin fighting with Obsidian's defaults. All right, so record this video is the thing. This up caret tells me that's super important. The plus is when it was created. The hourglass is when it's scheduled to do, and this is the due date, DUE date. Let's take a minute to talk about due dates and due dates. A DUE date is the date that this needs to be delivered, handed off to a client, a customer, whatever. If you only schedule based on the day it's DUE, then you're going to run out of time to accomplish the task that needs to have been done by now. So here's the thing that's going to completely transform your entire creative process. Only think about DO dates. What day are you going to do this thing so that it will be accomplished with enough time for it to be handed off when it's DUE, due? So when we're looking at the scheduling, I almost always look at scheduling the thing, not its due date. So we'll go into that when we start searching through all these kinds of things, right? Hey, quick question. Are you getting anything out of this video? If so, please give it a like. That's the easiest way to tell YouTube that, hey, this is worth my time and other cool people like me should see this. So if this is even halfway valuable, give it a like, comment, and that would really, really do a lot to getting the word out about the amazing power of Obsidian to completely change your life. So that's it. Let's get right back into the action. So now we've got at least one task on here. Let's go to another one, create and edit. So now this is the view that I was hoping that we would see. So we have to record this video, then we have to edit the video. And let's say that's a normal thing, doesn't recur. It's due on the day it's posting. So again, let's just say Monday next week. And that is, yeah, that's Monday of next week. And what's cool is that we're using natural language here instead of having to go look at the date. So it's computing based on today. And if today, let's say, well, today's Tuesday. So if I said Monday, the closest Monday would be yesterday. So it'd be like, oh, it's due yesterday. So here it's saying only future dates. So it's forcing it to look ahead to the next Monday. This is something that you'll run into when you start doing data view queries and being able to sort through all of your tasks that you have to do. So that's why sometimes when you're like, oh, sort by Monday, it'll be like yesterday. And you're like, no, I mean next Monday, the next Monday to happen. So if you run into any challenges like that, make sure you're doing the correct week of the day as measured against the today it's using as a reference. So hopefully that'll help clear up confusion for you down the road. So scheduled, again, we'll say that it's scheduled tomorrow because I need to accomplish recording the video. So before this, I need to record the video. And after this, we can post it. But see, we don't have that thing. So it's easier to think through in sequence, be like, first we record it, then we edit, then we post it and do all that kind of stuff. So we apply it, right? So now if we go back to record this video, edit task, record this video, now you can see that after this task, we have edit the video. So it automatically knows the conditional what happens next because it all ties together. So this way you can have chains of tasks that all know about each other. And when you go to look at it, it's right there. So this is super cool, powerful stuff that helps you stay on track. Okay. So this is what we've got here. And how about we create another task? But you know what? It's kind of a hassle to have to use the command palette. So how about we go create a hotkey for it? So command comma to bring up the settings pane and community plugins. And actually, let's go to hotkeys. And there's one command with conflict, which I never remember how to do that. Insert footnote, command 1. Yeah, who cares? That's fine. But let's talk about task. And create or edit task is blank. So let's add one, Command Shift T, which I actually like. But then let's go find what the conflict is. Okay, undo close tab. You know what? I don't undo close tab enough for this to take priority over that. So let's eliminate that. And now there's only create or edit task down here. So let's say we've got it down here, Command Shift T, and there it is. Now we can fill this out. So we can post this video and we'll say that's kind of the lowest priority and it's due on Wednesday next week. So you see how it goes from the 13th here to the 20th. Bam. And scheduled. Let's say I get to it on Sunday. There we go. And before this, I know I need to edit the video, and that's it. We'll apply. So now we've got a whole, we don't have a whole bunch. We've got 3 whole tasks. But this way, we've got enough to start using it. So let's make a new document and call it task list. And this will be where we start pulling in all these tasks from around our vault. And if you've got a daily note and you've got a to-do, and then you're like, send email to Bob, and that's a highest thing, and it's scheduled today, and that's it. Okay, cool. So now we've got tasks in different areas and different documents. We want a single place where we can aggregate all of them and start to see them in the way that makes sense. So this uses a little bit of data view, and I've done a whole video about that, but also this page right here, I'll link it up in the description. This has everything you'd ever want to know about how to build queries and sort through all this stuff. And I want to touch on just some of the basics, but I'm trying to find the quick reference. There we go. So the quick reference will show you all sorts of stuff real quick without a lot of the examples on how to use it, but you can filter by done, not done, identification string this, depends on that, done on this date, before date, on and before, all sorts of ways that you can do this. So this looks super confusing, and it can be, but I want to show you some of the beginner level ways of doing this. So the basic way that we do this is to set up tasks, and we can filter by due today or scheduled today. And I often use scheduled more so than due, because I'm not really concerned about what day it's DUE if I've already done it on the day I'm set to do it, DO, do it, right? Okay, so let's just copy this to give ourselves a head start. And there's tasks. We'll delete that out of the way. And I don't know why they're 4 there. And there we go. So it says there are 0 tasks for this way of filtering. So how about we just comment these out. So if you put a hash, pound sign, hashtag, whatever you call it, it'll comment out those filters. So now it's just saying all tasks, every task that has the hashtag task element to it, but not everything. Now I'll show you what I mean, because thing goes here and turn that into a checkbox, but it doesn't have a hashtag task. It's not a task tag. So when we come down here, you see thing goes here is not getting pulled into this way of aggregating everything. But if we go in here and add the task, there it is, right there, right? Now, the links here, these are backlinks to the note where this to-do can be found. So example task elements, I can click that and it will take me right to that element, right? So that's kind of cool. We can go back. But this is a lot of clutter. Like, holy cow, this is kind of a lot to look at. So we can start to hide elements, and say hide backlink. And now that link back to the note is not there. So that's cool. What else? Let's hide ID because I don't like seeing a lot of this. So I don't know exactly what that is. But I also don't want to see the created date there. So let's hide created date. Okay, so created date, I did not like that. Let's see if, okay, there we go. And then I also want to hide due date because I don't care about the date that it's due. I just care about the day that I'm doing it. And also, I don't care about hide priority. And now it's hiding all that priority, right? Now, these emojis, I actually like leaving them here because if I click it, it says postpone it by 1 day, the DUE date, postpone that by 1 date, or you can right click on it and be like, okay, I need to postpone it by 6 days, which is the date it's DUE. Or this little document with a pencil icon, you can click that and it will bring up the edit interface for that, right? So now you could change what day it's due, what day it's scheduled, and you can make all those changes and apply it, right? But I don't actually like even having all of this because, again, it's a lot of visual clutter. So let's hide scheduled date. Okay, so this is a lot better. Your preferences might be different, but now that we've hidden a lot of this, it's difficult to know when things are going to happen. So let's copy all of this, give ourselves a head start, paste it back in, and now we can say scheduled date is today. So now it's only showing us what we have to do today, which is pretty cool, right? Okay, so now we could add a heading and be like, due today or DO today. So this is what we have to do today. Then we can say due tomorrow. And I want to copy all of this, paste that in. Scheduled date is tomorrow. There we go. And let's give that a heading. So then the only thing I have to do tomorrow is edit the video. And it makes sense that I record the video first, then I edit the video, and then do next week. Paste that in. Scheduled date is next week. And see if that works. So we could say scheduled date is after tomorrow for anything scheduled in the future, which is that one. What if? So this is kind of how I play around with it. I just kind of play around with how its little logic works. Date is day after tomorrow. Aha! Yeah. All right. Wait, no, that's weird. All right. I won't bore you with all of this, but if you really want to dive in deep with the conditional logic and stuff, you can really dive in here. Custom filters, searching for dates, and you can hard code the date or you can loose code the date with today and all that kind of stuff. On or after, it would be like after tomorrow, next Monday, tomorrow, yesterday, last Friday, happens next week. Ooh, let's see what happens next week. What that looks like. All right, happens this week. Let me copy that. Go here, paste that in. Happens next week. All right. Now that that's working a little bit better. Maybe not exact, but you get the idea, right? Now, here's another cool thing that you can do, which is use a call out, insert call out, and say it's an alert, and say um, overdue in the contents. Let's copy this, come in here to the contents, paste it in, and there's some goofiness that's happening with stuff. So we've got to go in. This is some of the weird hijinks that happen with all these different plugins and such. But let's, oh yeah, so it's counting that as a heading. There's this. Now it should do that. Okay. So you can put these search queries inside callouts so that you can have really cool visibility into this. So we can say scheduled date is before today. So scheduled date is before today. That should do it. Or due date is before today. Yeah, so schedule date, send email. So this would be record this. Actually, you know what? Let's say not only future dates, but we'll say it's on the 10th and force it. Okay. And then we'll say that this one is due on the 7th, and we'll clear out the scheduled from that. Okay. Yesterday. And apply. Okay. So it's before today. The due date is before today. Will that work? Maybe it doesn't like having two in there. Overdue. Test overdue, hide backlink, hide and schedule date, not due today. See, parentheses, or due date is before today. And then delete this guy. I'm going to delete most of this until I get it figured out, because I want stuff to show me that is overdue. And what exactly does that require? Due before today. Aha, there we go. So, scheduled before today or due before today. There we go. So either I haven't handed it in or I didn't get it accomplished in time. And now I have this call out of stuff that is overdue, which is pretty cool. So then you can like copy this, paste it, and then come in and be like, scheduled is today and due is today. And then you can see due today, right? Because there aren't any tasks that are due today. So how about we come here and then be like, let's continue being awesome. And that is due today and it's scheduled today. just giving ourselves more ways for this to show up. And then look at that. Continue being awesome. I can do that today. And my overdues are right here, and record, and it deprioritizes stuff that I've accomplished. And I like seeing the stuff that I've marked off. That really helps me stay on this and be like, yeah, I'm getting so much done today. Hot dog. So I really like that. But again, I want to hide the date accomplished, right? Hide. Let's see if that does the trick. Nope, doesn't know how to do that. But you can do that. But then hide. I thought that would work. But there is a way to hide the things that you've marked done. So again, I'm not gonna bore you with that. But yeah, that's it, right? So you can have upcoming next week, upcoming next quarter, all sorts of things. So you can arrange all of your tasks in different call outs, and at a glance, be able to see what's coming up, what you need to hop on today, stuff that's scheduled to get done today. And now you aren't wondering, what do I need to accomplish? And it doesn't matter where in your vault you're adding the to-do items. The data view is aggregating everything through the task search of this. And part of its logic is understanding that you're only looking for tasks created through the task plugin. And you know that because it automatically adds the task tag to each to-do item so that you don't aggregate every clickable thing. And you won't have that get looped in to your to-do items, right? So that's what I wanted to show you. It took a little while to do it, but this is so important that I really wanted to take my time, and we'll get back to the good camera. And there you have it. Like, that is just the fraction of what you can do with the Tasks plugin. Like, this is absolutely fantastic, and I'll be doing future videos about other things that you can connect it to. So make sure you set up your tasks the way that we just went over. And then, like I said, you'll be able to do even more stuff with it, with some really cool other programs that will help you schedule with other folks. Like, I'm getting ahead of myself, but it's going to be really good. So if you've followed through to now, you will be well rewarded in future videos. So I'm so glad that you're here, that you found it, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you in the comments. Sound off, and if you do want to make this YouTube official, you can subscribe. That would be awesome. I would love to have you on board. But if you are looking to make more money as a content creator, the single best thing you can do is visit the website, sign up for the email list, and there I share strategies, insights, and have a two-way conversation with you that I can't have just through the video. So go sign up there. You'll get access to the full tool list that I use, the software, the hardware, what kind of camera is this, the lighting, all that kind of stuff I put into a spreadsheet that is always up to date with my absolute best tools that I use as a professional creator. And you can get access to that the moment that you sign up for the email list. So I would love to get that to you. And in the meantime, I will trust YouTube to show you which video you should watch next. And as always, remember, if you can change your mind, you can change your life.